We'll do Tyranids just because with 10th edition coming up, there are going to be people interested about Tyranids. I don't know a whole lot about Tyranids except for they are giant space bugs of murder and death, and they eat everything, and then they go on to the next planet and start over again. Their numbers are countless. All right. Hive Fleet Leviathan is at number 1. Hive Fleet Leviathan was the third and largest Tyrannid incursion into the Milky Way galaxy in 997, or M41, and marked the start of the ongoing Third Tyrannic War for the Imperium of Mankind. Less than 5 years after the defeat of Hive Fleet Kraken in the Second Tyrannic War, Lord Inquisitor Cryptman noted the telltale signs of yet another Tyranid invasion in 997, M41. He implemented the Cryptman census, burning out dozens of astropaths. That's not good. An attempt to contact scores of worlds on every fringe of the Imperium. Slowly, the responses and the lack of them formed a pattern, and the venerable Inquisitor was able to chart the course of the Tyranids' latest Hive Fleet to arrive in the Milky Galaxy. These guys have the icky purple and flesh tone colors. Like I said, I don't know much about them. I'm not a Tyranid player. I don't really have a Tyranid codex. I was going to do a Tyranid kill team just because I like killer space bugs. 2. Hive Fleet Behemoth. Hive Fleet Behemoth was the first major Tyranid Hive Fleet encountered and defeated by the Imperium of Man. The ensuing conflict became known as the First Tyrannic. God, I can't say that now. Tyrannical War. The Hive Fleet was eventually destroyed in 745 by the combined might of the Ultramarines, the White Scars, and the Imperial Navy. These guys are kind of cool looking, black and red. Hive Fleet Kraken. Hive Fleet Kraken was the second major Tyranid Hive Fleet to invade the galaxy. It was responsible for the outbreak of the Second War, which began officially in 992 and ended only after the Ultramarines chapter of Space Marines successfully broke the back of the Tyranid invasion. Imperial space at the Battle of Ekar, is that 4 or 5, and the Eldar craft world Eidolon successfully defended their home at the great cost against the Tyranid horde. Okay. Do not know if these guys were in the whatchamacallit games, Dawn of War games with the Blood Ravens. I do know the Exorcists actually fought some of these guys. I watched a video on other non-Ultramarine Space Marine chapters that fought in the wars, and there's some quite interesting ones that were a part of it. And at number 4, we have Hive Fleet Dragon. Oh, those guys are having a bad day. Hive Fleet... Oh, Dagon, not Dragon. Oh, man, this guy really likes to read his H.P. Lovecraft, because why... You know who Dagon is. Hive Fleet Dagon was the first major Tyranid incursion into the Jericho Reach region of the Ultima Segmentum. The shadow of the warp cast by the Tyranid hive mind within this violent region of space first heralded the arrival of the new terrible Hive Fleet in 812. So these guys are psychics. They're more psychic than the other ones, but all of them are kind of psychic, though. That's very interesting to note. Communication between the Achilles Crusade and the reconsidered regions of Jericho Reach were all lost without warning. Practically, if the effect was the Orpheus salient of the Crusade that was lost to communication and access to the reach of. Okay. So these guys use the warp to their advantage. Chaos demons and chaos gods don't like the Tyranids because they can't harvest their souls. And last but not least, at number 5, we have Hive Fleet Gorgon. High Fleet Gorgon was a Tyranid fleet which invaded the Tau Empire in 899. The Gorgon was a splinter fleet of Hive Fleet Behemoth that was founded by those Tyranids who had survived Behemoth's destructions during the Battle of Macragge, and which began consuming poorly defended Imperial worlds to replenish their small numbers. By the time the splinter fleet made its way to Tau space in the eastern fringe of the galaxy, it had grown to become a full Hive Fleet of its own right. That is interesting. The Tau, though, the Tau ended up helping create new Tyranids by fighting them, which is a shame that they all didn't get eaten. But anyway, I kind of like the Tau. They're interesting. I like all the factions in Warhammer 40k. They're all interesting. They're all in their own rights.